1, start. Alright, so welcome back to episode 6, yeah? Of the Moviebloop podcast? This dude
Yeah.
and his gorilla
Moviebloop.
fucking sounds. Anyway, I am Michael.
I'm Brian.
Jose.
My name is Steven.
And I'm Nathaniel.
Wow.
Alright, so again,
Hello.
welcome. So, last week we said that we were gonna watch 8th grade, but
Bullshit. It's a
We
lie.
It's a
lied.
lie.
We lied.
You
We're
got
liars.
tricked. You're
Big
so
lie.
stupid.
You're so
Bamboozled.
gullible.
you're
kid.
actually kind of
Wow.
dumb, I'll be honest.
Imagine.
I love it.
Imagine.
But
You always gotta call your audience stupid. That's the key to these
Yeah,
things.
you gotta talk
I've
down.
heard that that's how you make the big bucks.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Okay.
no. So what happened is that afterwards we had a talk and we
like an
decided that there
argument.
should be some way that everyone gets to pick one movie that they really want to watch. And so what we decided is that on the week of your birthday, you get to pick what movie we watch that week. And so the reason we didn't watch 8th grade this week is because this week was my birthday. I turned 21.
Happy
Congratulate
birthday,
me.
by the way.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
So I turned 21 this week, and so I decided that we would watch one of my favorite movies of all time. It's going to be as deep and nuanced as every other movie we have watched.
Bro, it's so deep.
It's
Possibly
so,
deeper.
It's probably the deepest one.
You could dip it in how deep it is.
Dude,
You-
what I could do
I
is
would
I
drown.
could dip
You actually
Some
can't even
tips
see the
in
bottom.
how thick this sarcasm is.
You
It's
can't.
great.
You couldn't even see it.
But
Anyway,
wait, what is the movie?
so the movie is a little gem from 2006 that you all know because you all loved it,
And also, it's in the title.
and also
Y'all
it's in the
remember
title.
it from your
It's called Nacho
childhoods.
Libre.
Starring Jack Black.
Starring Jack Black. It's one of my favorite movies because it's super fucking funny. I don't know how we're gonna talk about this episode, so I hope other people have topics because I don't. I tried looking
Okay,
up
hold
if
on,
their
let me
names
pull
meant
it up.
anything. It
So-
doesn't.
So first off, it's labeled as a comedy drama. So drama.
I mean, did you see the?
Technically.
He got kicked out of the monastery, bro.
yeah, dude,
That's-
dramatic.
That was
That was
pretty dramatic.
intense.
I cried.
Yeah.
Intense.
Oh, I'm
the
sorry.
most dramatic
Yeah.
butt clenches I've ever seen.
This is true. This is true.
That was a very dramatic butt clench.
It was very good. He nailed that.
I
Do
thought
we
it was great.
wanna? Do we wanna? How do
Rank-
how do we all feel? Yeah, let's-
Yeah.
how do we all feel about it, Michael? What?
So
How do you
yeah,
feel about it?
So easy. We'll go
Dude,
top.
he's in
So we'll go top to bottom.
Perfect.
I love this movie.
What?
It's one of my
That's just insane.
shocker, right?
Dude, crazy.
It's so crazy.
Nah, it's like legitimately one of my favorite movies just because it's such a good time and I think it's so funny. I watched it when it came out as a kid. I don't think it came out in theaters. I think it went straight to Nickelodeon.
You don't think so?
This was I think it went straight to Nickelodeon, but it was one of my favorite movies then, and it still is. Every time I watch it, I laugh. I have a really good time, so it's one of my favorites. Brian,
Nice.
Brian,
Yes, I'm here.
Your
It,
turn.
okay, so it's good. It's good. I was sorry. I
God,
was really
who
getting
the
into your
fuck
point.
this likes
Who
this
hired this-
movie?
who
I
This is
hired this
absolutely
guy?
loved it. Yeah, who hired this guy? You know,
Shut up.
kick him out. But okay. Absolutely loved it. Definitely. I watched it once when I was little. Which is like the first or second movie on all the movies that we've watched that I've actually seen before. And I actually might have been the first one that I've actually seen before. Absolutely loved it. Like, it reminded me a little bit of my childhood and just kind of like the themes of when I was younger. When I was like, what? How old was I? Like 8
we
or
were
9
7
when
when
this
this
thing came out?
movie came out.
Okay, so I was
Wow.
8 when the movie came out, I think.
Yeah.
But not like, I don't know. It's kind of absurd. You're not supposed to think too hard about it.
No, you're not at all.
But it does. That being said, it does have some things like family and
Religion.
meaning, friendship, and also one big thing was kind of that they didn't really touch on, but I enjoyed was the fact that it's like, oh, your heroes are also they're human, or your heroes aren't always good. Behind the scenes, like freaking what's his name?
Ramses.
Ramses.
Ramses. Ramses, like, I don't know, his persona, everybody loved him. Like, the little kid loved him. He was like, oh my gosh, I was your biggest fan growing up and like watching all these things. It turns out the guy's a big dick, and it's just like, oh,
Oh my gosh.
okay.
He's a big douche.
He's a
As-
douche
I
canoe.
was very surprised when he said that.
It's just like I don't know. I like that specifically. Like kind of that talking about that, but I don't know.
I'm glad you could find nuance in this movie that I know of none.
Mwah.
I
Yeah.
just think it's a good time.
That's good.
Yeah.
Jose.
Jose, how did you feel?
Look, this
about
is a
movie?
good time at the movie theaters. I can't even tell you when I saw this movie for the first time. I can't remember it at all. I just know that I saw it with my family when I was like 6 or 7. I feel like Jack Black's one of those people that unless you just missed the train, like you've seen him in at least one movie during your childhood years,
Mhm.
whether it was like School of Rock or Nacho Libre.
Bro, I was considering watching School of Rock.
Right. It's just you've got to have like some kind of Jack Black representation in your like movie viewing.
Yeah.
I think you don't really have a choice unless you haven't seen it. Like I saw some other things from Gulliver's Travel. I'm not trying to hijack this,
yeah.
but like Gulliver's Travel,
Right.
Oh, there's like a newer one. Yeah.
Even
Gulliver's
Kung Fu
Travels.
Panda,
No, that was
right?
Oh my
2000
god,
Yeah.
Kung
That
Fu
was 2010.
Panda.
Goosebumps, Kung
Kung
Fu
Fu
Panda.
Panda.
He's
Panda,
he's
Come
everywhere.
on, School of Rock.
And now he's like in Jumanji too. As
He's
well. He's
also in
really,
Tropic Thunder.
like
he's
he's
my
in a
God,
lot of
I forgot he
cultural
was in that.
stuff.
He's
Yeah.
also in Ice Age.
What?
Who is he in
And
Ice
Shark
Age?
Tale. I don't know.
I don't
I'll
know
figure
who he is in Ice Age,
give me
but
a-
in Shark
give me a
Tale,
sec.
he's Lenny. He's the shark.
Oh my
he's-
gosh,
He's
really?
the vegetarian. Yeah.
In a
Oh my
word,
goodness.
the man is prolific.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. He's
prolific.
infiltrated your
The
childhood somewhere.
guy is freaking good.
He is
Mars
my
Attack.
childhood.
Whoa, wait.
Yeah.
I'm
He is
Italian.
okay. He's like one of the henchmen. Diego's like friends henchman.
Oh, that's right. He is. I remember. He's the
Yeah.
fucking skinny, freaky one.
The skinny weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jose, continue.
Dog, is this
Um,
actually what it looked like?
Let me see. I feel like Nacho Libre it has like a lot of good stuff going for it. It's definitely always like the, the Jack Black movie to me to a certain degree
Yeah.
because it's one of the
True.
first I saw.
I can agree. I can
No,
agree
yeah.
with that.
Also-
To me, this one and School of Rock are like the quintessential
Right.
Jack Black movies.
Right. Also, is it just me, or I feel like on this viewing, this is like some semi weird, twisted up Mexican version of like Rocky. Like
Oh my
I don't know if
God.
I'm the one who's like seeing
No,
it this
yeah,
way.
it
No,
kind of
It's like some
is.
fucked up
Actually,
version of it.
so speaking on that, I actually just looked up this movie. It's loosely based on the story of Fray Tormenta, aka Friar Storm, who was
Okay.
a real life Mexican Catholic priest who had a 23
Holy shit.
year career as a masked luchador.
It's based off a true
Wow.
story.
And
Jesus.
he competed in order to support the orphanage he directed.
That's a
Aw.
backstory right
It's
there.
literally loosely based on a true story. I had no fucking idea.
That's how they should have marketed it, like
Yeah.
a biopic. So this is
I've
Second.
literally watched this movie like almost every year since it came out. Like I didn't know that.
ancient tradition. But those are mostly my thoughts on it.
Steven?
Steven hates this movie. He hates
No,
it. He's gonna kill it. If he
I
knew
had
Jack Black, he'd beat him up.
I never
Beat
saw
up.
this movie as a kid. I've only seen like parts. This is my first time fully watching it. I thought it was very fun. It was very funny. It was. They're obviously, I mean, I don't know. It's a kids movie, but I went in like, oh, okay, it's gonna be like whatever. But I actually had a lot more fun than I thought I would. So, yeah.
Are you
it was-
fond of Jack Black?
I am. He's a very funny and talented man.
Very charismatic too.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
his performance carries like so many movies
Always.
he's in,
Dude, did you
Yeah.
not
but
see
like especially
Jumanji?
this
He
one.
literally played
No, yeah,
a
he
girl
literally
and that was
he
insane.
literally carried like the new Jumanji.
Yeah.
He
Oh, yeah.
carried it for sure. But yeah.
And then he's got another Jumanji coming out this year or something later this year.
Well, the second one came.
The
There was
second
just
one
one
already-
in this
this-
last January, yeah.
Yeah, the second one came out already.
Yeah, which I
Did it?
saw. was
What?
good.
Did
Oh,
it
no.
actually? Hold on.
I'm
Oh
pretty
yeah,
sure it
dude.
did.
I just saw it this January. It's the first movie I saw this year.
It did. Now, while you're looking that up, I think I would like to hear what Nathaniel has to say about
Yeah.
this movie.
Actually, it came out last year.
I
Oh my gosh! I missed it. I wanted to see that. Frick. Okay.
There's
sorry.
still a chance.
I agree
Put on
with
the list.
mostly everyone. With everyone, I love the film. I seen it when I was really young. I loved it when I was younger. I love it now. Like I said, it's just a good time. It's just a film that makes you feel good. It's a good time. And watching it now, I even got a theory on Ramses. I got
Oh
got a
no.
theory on the guy. One
What do you
Ramses?
mean?
character behind him.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's
but
later.
Okay.
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 What, you want to discuss
Um,
it later?
I mean, unless y'all got any topics, I
Nathaniel,
can
we
wait.
have no segues.
This
I
is
have-
Really? Okay,
this
I
is
got you
this
then.
this episode right here is like the greatest challenge and test I've ever seen for this podcast to date.
Yeah. Except
Where
so for one thing though, is
Well, we got a
that
couple of segments.
Ramses was played by a dude named Silver King, who's actually a luchador.
Oh, that's awesome.
He had the muscles of a luchador.
oh,
Yeah, he
he's
was like,
what is it, Mike Tyson of Luchador, am I right?
yeah, let me see. Oh my gosh, he died last year.
Oh,
rest his
Oh,
soul.
Oh,
may
that's
the man
sad.
rest in peace.
He
It's
died in
depression time, boys.
England of a heart attack.
That's not Mexico.
Where the
Uh,
fuck he die of a
he's
heart
pretty
attack?
old. Let me see. Yeah, he's best known as Silver King, but also had an extensive stint as the third wrestler to portray the Black Tiger. He's the son of
Okay.
another luchador and the brother of another luchador.
So it runs in the family.
Yeah,
And
it's one of those.
yeah, and he worked for many years on a tag team with El Texano called Los
Oh.
Cowboys.
Well, may
Oh.
God
Wow,
bless
that's
you rest in peace.
Yeah, he was part of a
Rest in peace.
whole bunch of wrestling.
Yeah, may you rest in peace.
no. May he rest in peace.
He was
This
in
is like
two.
the lineup right here.
Yeah, he was
no,
in.
no, 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 no.
He was in World
May he rest
Championship.
in peace.
He was in two Japanese
No.
ones. All
Yeah, the two
Japan Pro
big
Wrestling.
Japan ones
Oh,
and the
Yeah,
big Lucha Libre one.
But-
Yeah.
yeah.
If I can bring up, because I got a few topics. Because one, when I was a kid, my favorite wrestler in this whole film,
Oh,
Silencio. His design was so
Silencio
cool.
was so funny.
And I think the reason also is he was also my favorite wrestler as a kid is because he has the same finisher as my favorite wrestler currently, The Undertaker. He does the Tombstone Pile Driver, and I'm like,
let's
dude,
see what's going on
he's
here.
a legend.
Wait, the lens.
I was gonna
Nathaniel's gonna
say-
turn this into a wrestling podcast.
I was gonna say that I thought that this movie would be a good way to get you guys to talk about wrestling as well.
I'm like, is Nathaniel? Are you doing what I
Wait,
think you're doing?
is it wrestling talk time?
Like, dude,
Is
he's like,
this
he did
one?
Tombstone. And when I remember as a kid,
Little-
I was, oh, The Undertaker. I was like, that's so cool. And that's why he's my favorite wrestler in the movie.
Yeah, I wonder how much like
was
inspiration
his
this
name
movie.
again?
Silencio.
Valencia. I wonder how much like inspiration this movie like is this more the Jack Black movie or is it sort of like what is it celebrating something, like is it honoring like sort of lucha libre
Like
or is it
like
more
celebrating
just
like the lucha culture.
yeah, because that's like the aesthetic, so I wonder if there's any like
The lucha.
was it just like an
the
aesthetic choice,
so I
or do
wonder
they
if there's
actually
any,
sort of
like-
like really like
Was
lucha
it just,
libre
like, an
as like a
aesthetic
thing,
choice,
and the
or do
director
they
was like,
actually
I
sort
want to
of-
make a movie where we fuck around with this, or if it was mostly just like a fun Jack
Mhm.
Black time. I just thought of that.
I feel like
Considering how much
was-
like they do have like a bunch of like wrestling characters that seem like, you know, like they have a lot of personality
Okay,
Yeah.
as they're
so
introduced.
for the director Jared Hess, right?
Right, I did.
He's made some other kind of underground ones. He made
yo sleeper hit time,
made
dude.
Masterminds, right? He's only made like 9 movies total,
Like
right?
the animated movie.
No, like the 2006 16 one. It
Oh,
wasn't all that good.
Oh,
but
the one
another
with
he
fucking
made-
Zach Galifianakis.
Mhm.
I never saw
But
that.
the other
You
one
can
he
say
made
his name.
was
Yes, I can
the
say his name.
biggest name I guess that he made other than Nacho Libre is Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah,
Yep.
he made Napoleon Dynamite.
That's
He
interesting.
directed it. So
Yo.
I don't know. I've never seen Napoleon Dynamite, but I know it's
I've
good.
not
I'm
watched the
told
whole
it's a
thing.
classic.
I
don't know,
saw that
I've never
movie
seen
in
Napoleon
church.
Dynamite,
Can you believe
but I
that?
know it's
I
good.
have
Really?
not watched the whole
In
thing.
church, bro.
Bruh.
In church.
Oh, another thing, Ramsey. Okay,
Ramses.
Ramsey.
Yeah,
Think about
it's
this.
Ramses. You're fine.
What if he is really not a douchebag? What if his character's really not a douchebag?
douche.
Because think, what if he's just playing the role? He's being a heel. He can't allow
I can't with you.
the public he's a bad guy because he understands. So when he pushes
Public thinks he's a good guy.
well, public
Like
thinks
everybody loves him.
that.
He's trying to build up that heat.
Sorry, what are you saying, Jose?
He's trying to build up that heat so everyone wants to watch the match.
Exactly. And maybe, think about it, he witnessed Ignacio and he's like, he might be the new guy. If I can build him up and I can portray this heel character, then he will be the top. Because he saw something in Ignacio. Guys, we're getting to the bottom of this.
But
This
I
is
don't think
quality.
I don't know, cause I mean,
This is all top tier
but like the
booking
whole
on
time
Ramses.
they're like, Ramses, you are
Ramses.
number one. Your legs are number one.
Dude, they're just trying to build
Your
his
Yeah,
character.
muscles
Yeah,
yeah.
are
they're
number
building.
one.
They're building that character.
The
They
I
higher
just
the
think
mountain, the
Oh
greater the
my
climb.
god.
because like if you like
Mm.
look at the match, like Ramses isn't really a person. He's more of an animal. Because they literally couldn't control him. Like in the fight, like it was break time and he was freaking out. He was yelling. He wanted to get back in, and he fucking like went at him. And when he started getting beat, tried to run, which is what animals do. When animals are getting beaten, when they see that they're about to be like beaten in a battle, they try and run. Like they literally didn't even portray him like as a person. He's just like in the ring. He's literally an animal.
he's the
I mean,
animal
no,
with
he never
the heel.
Get
speaks
out of
any
my
English. He only ever speaks Spanish
See,
throughout the whole
the
film,
thing
and
is,
it's like when he's
Batista.
talking to Silencio.
yes,
No.
exactly.
Um,
He's Batista. He's the animal dude. He's this
Yeah,
animalistic heel.
I just mean that
So
like in battle, he's like um
he's
just like an
ferocious.
animal. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
he also
ferocious.
he also has a lot more grunts than not. Okay, so I feel like okay, so not to say that it's not that he couldn't speak English, but the
No.
majority of the film was spoken in English. So
Mm.
they were trying to portray him as like as animalistic because he wouldn't speak English. Or by having him not speak English, they were trying to portray him as animalistic for an Englishman.
Exactly.
I feel like a lot of the most of the side characters just spoke in Spanish.
And
Or
in wrestling back in the day, you'd always have like the foreigner or whoever wasn't speaking the primary language of like the room. They'd be like the heels. They'd be the ones getting built up.
and the guy, the booker who they went to talk to get invited into the battle royal, he's like the Vince McMahon. So
Boom.
Ramsey's got a heel Vince McMahon on his side. So Ramsey is probably like a god. Also, Stone Cold, Steve Austin was a heel. But the crowd would love Stone Cold, even though he was a bad guy. The same goes for Ramses. So Ramses was really building up Nacho as he was also. Come, Jose, we need a book. We need a Jose. Jose, what are we doing?
You just unlocked a new level to my Nacho Libre scholarly understandings.
Take it, dude. And Peter Stormare's there, dude. Come on, this is too good. Me and Jose's killing.
We get it.
Yeah, you should,
I get
you
it.
should write a book about it.
I'm honestly about to. Still,
I'd love to see
you.
that actually. Also, that reminds me, I have your socks.
Thank you.
You left your socks in my freaking car.
Is this like the place for that?
Yes, this is the place is the time. Uh,
Oh, dude, that'd be actually a dope book.
Oh
Old
my
book
fucking
called
gosh.
Ramsey. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I'm getting too hyped into the booking.
he's so hyped right now.
I really hope some people who like respect the art that is
Nacho Libre?
wrestling and pro wrestling, they
Nacho
watch
Libre.
this and they're like, "Oh, dude, I get it. I get it."
Sick,
Like,
bro.
you
Building
guys
it,
are talking
dude.
about like these different
Well,
guys.
yeah,
I'm like, I have no
cause
freaking clue.
it's like a funny movie that's like steeped in like wrestling culture, you know? So
Lucha
like
Libre, baby.
yeah, like it's literally like steeped in like a nice thick coating of wrestling
Steeped.
culture.
Oh,
Exactly.
dude. And down the line, his friend Skeletor can battle Nacho Libre for the championship. Oh, gold. Gold, dude.
Dude, when this dude Jack Black, right? Ignacio, I'm gonna call him Jack Black. He wins at the end. I'm like, is this dude gonna yell? Is this dude gonna yell the nun's name? Is that what he's gonna do? Like in Rocky?
Dude, I didn't
Encarnacion.
realize.
Yeah.
I
Is he
didn't
gonna yell each other's
realize
name?
the nun's name until he made the song, and I was just like, "Wait, is that her name?
It's like
Did he make an
Encarnacion, yeah.
entire
Yeah.
song for her?"
Yeah, it's Encarnacion.
I wanted them
Um,
to yell each other's names.
Yeah,
And then-
right.
Encarnacion!
Like
Dude,
Seal the Rocky.
Oh yeah, and it's like, what is it? What's
Literally,
happening?
Rocky.
This is all like in Spanish. It's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, we have Sylvester Stallone up there as Rocky. He can barely speak English, but you know,
Exactly.
uh,
Have Sylvester Stallone speak in Spanish. That's top tier
Exactly.
ticket.
nah. But I don't know. It's a banger of a comedy. It's a good
Yeah, it's just
comedy.
a really good fucking time.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
had one thing to say about this movie, and I don't know if it was brought up because I had to get up for a second,
Probably not, but
but Jose, I remember when we saw Slumdog Millionaire,
Yeah,
you
hold
had
up.
you had this comment.
Oh my gosh, is he pulling receipts on my ass right now, dude?
I am.
Oh, I
You
can't believe this.
you had this comment that I actually agree with a lot.
We
I'm so
came
Where
back
scared,
to the
dog.
second
I'm so
episode.
scared. I don't remember
anytime
half
a
the shit I said.
westerner, anytime like a western like movie studio makes a movie in like a foreign land, they change the color. Like the whole movie is seeped in like a different color.
Mhm.
Like
Ah, yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah, it's like
India is
the,
like a
the Mexico, the comparisons where it's like yellow.
yeah, it's
That one.
they put like a tint over the movie so that it feels like a different foreign place. And I don't think that this movie did that at all, which was really
She has
cool.
like
Like
bright colors.
exactly. Like it
Yeah.
was in a desert, so it's gonna be deserty. But
Yeah.
yeah, the colors actually were like vibrant and bright, which was really cool. It gave it like I don't know. It felt like a movie that was like made about Mexico and was like, well, I don't know. I wouldn't call it like it's not like it's not El Tigre, but
But it was more inviting though.
yeah,
Like
and
Oh yeah.
respectful. I
it
think in
seemed,
that aspect.
yeah, like the village that he lived in, like I
Mhm.
would love to walk down those streets. It looked really nice,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah,
yeah.
it
We're
actually
like,
does like if we wanted to fucking reference what I said in Slumdog, it actually feels like the opposite because every scene feels like it's celebrating like all the things because the movie's so comedic and positive and just
Yeah.
enjoyable.
yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
Like
yeah, no, definitely.
you have like this is a nice setting. It's lively, it's beautiful. You see why the characters love being there and why they like
Okay,
to live there.
Ramsey's house was absolutely amazing. I was like, ooh, that looks nice.
That
Yeah.
mansion was gorgeous, yeah.
That was really. I would love to go to that town and just visit it. You know, it looks
Mm.
very like a very nice, quaint
It was
place
like a,
to go.
yeah, it was like a homey, quaint place, but like had things to do. You know, I'd love to
Exactly.
go there
Right.
for like a weekend or something and just
And then
chill,
he lives in a
you know?
monastery that's also like
Yeah,
400
like
years old. So
this movie like praised Mexico and showed why it's like a good place to be and like to live, where Slangdub was kind of the opposite, where it's like somewhat of like a condemnation of India because they
dude,
Yeah.
showed
it was
how like,
definitely a condemnation of
yeah,
India.
It's like look how terrible these people live. They're so
yeah,
boring. They're
yeah,
so boring.
exactly. It
Have
didn't
a little
like,
taste
Yeah.
of it. I'm never
yeah,
gonna get over that.
yeah.
Here,
And
have a
That's
taste of
yeah,
America.
that really like that, dude. Like that's literally the worst part of that movie.
Oh yeah.
But no, like this movie is the complete opposite. Like I
Yeah.
would love I would love to go to Mexico and visit it.
It's
You
like,
know,
hey, Mexico,
yeah,
yo, luchadors, yo.
yeah. They're like, yo, we got fucking bomb ass fights with luchadors and
It's like,
shit.
The
you want to see this shit?
merchandise,
You want to see
There's
it?
street
In the
corn
freaking
everywhere.
street
dude,
corn
that
looks pretty
street corn
good.
Yeah,
that
like
was
it
looking
was
good.
great
You were even talking about it
during
during
the
the movie. You
movie.
said
Yeah,
street corn's just like you'd love to try it.
it's like a thing. Yeah, yeah.
Be careful though. Take your eye out. Be careful.
Oh my god, bro,
You
can
right?
you remember the scene where Escalato, I don't know,
This
Escalato,
his Steven.
um,
His name is Steven.
My name's Steven.
His name
El
is Steven.
um,
El Skelito.
Esqueleto.
yeah,
Yeah.
El
Escalato,
Skelito. It's
where
El Skelito.
No,
where
that's fine.
shit gets rubbed on
Is
this
it?
man's face.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Can we
something.
all just
See,
collectively hold each
Oh,
other's
we
hands
Steven
we
in
had all
trauma?
forgotten about
Skelito.
that for a second
I
I'm
because
gonna bring
always,
it back.
to be honest, I always
What's
thought
his-
of it as just mud. I actually didn't think of it as shit
That's
whenever
true, dude.
maybe
No,
whenever I
that's
see that,
too
to
soft.
me that's like wet mud, but
Ah,
it definitely like
Oh
That's
no,
could
how.
have
I know.
been
it's too
shit.
soft.
I
It's
know what you're
shit,
talking
bro.
about, dude. That was
That's
When
bad.
it's
Well, that's
too
the thing
soft,
is
bro.
like it no, like it looked too soft, like it looked like too consistent to be shit to me.
That's healthy eating right there, man.
That's how
yeah,
he
Well,
eating.
that's definitely got to be like
That
a.
dude's got fiber.
It's an herbivore of some kind that made
Oh,
that.
it
herbivores.
looked like I thought it was like a
Oh
cattle
yeah,
pot.
It was
like
the
a
It
cow.
was like
chickens.
I thought it was. I thought it. No, I really don't think
Huge,
it
Oh,
was.
huge
dude,
chicken.
and it was like foreshadowed earlier in the movie when Nacho was like driving by and he's like, "I like your cow."
Oh my god, the cow
Oh,
left that for
dude,
him to use later.
they had
Oh my god.
foreshadowing.
Wow,
Foreshadowing.
No,
this
it's this
Wow.
movie is
good.
deep.
It's a good movie.
Wow, the deepest. Michael said it as soon as he was like, "I know what we're watching. We're watching something that's going to be comparable to the other deep movies we've watched."
He's
Deeper
right.
than the
And he's right.
lighthouse, uncut gems can't even hold a candle.
I
It's
can't
Dude,
believe.
deeper than all of them combined.
dude,
Honestly,
deeper than
Combinado.
Tarzan.
dude,
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Again, we literally just watched this because I wanted to, and it's my
Yeah,
birthday. Or my birthday
yeah.
was a few days ago, but
Cool costume. Great costume.
I love this
Yeah,
costume.
A red cape.
No,
And
I really enjoyed the light blue.
that was
I thought the light blue,
fun
blue was
aspect.
good.
Yeah.
I'll argue with anybody on this, but Nacho Libre, Jack Black's character, knows how to dress. My man's styling.
Oh
Bro, I will never get over those gorgeous blue shoes or white shoes.
or white shoes. The
Incredible.
fact that he was able to walk through the desert so
And
perfectly
they were always
that he could
perfectly clean.
avoid he could
Always.
avoid
Bro,
all the dirt in it because he
He-
just knows that he's that good. He's that good.
he's scrubbing those babies down every
Yeah.
night, probably
That
multiple
or
times a day.
Oh
that
my
or he never
goodness.
lets them touch the dirt
You
because
can
he knows
dirt.
he's that good.
You can dirty a lot of things, but you can't dirty swag. You know what I'm saying? Swag, you
Mm.
can't make that
Facts.
dirty.
You
I'm
can't.
with you on that one.
He is full of swag.
He's just an amazing dude.
Good
Yeah.
movie. Anybody else have anything they want to say on the movie? Though
No.
I hate
I have
you.
one last.
Steven ain't even trying, dude.
I
We-
am trying, and it's not. The color thing. The
Look.
color thing was all I had.
The colors were really
I
nice.
just had a good time. That's it. That's
Yeah,
all.
it's
legit.
good
I
time.
I did not go into this thinking about how we would talk about it.
Yeah.
I literally just wanted to watch this movie because I love this movie and I wanted to
Mhm.
share it with you guys.
It was good. I'm glad.
Dude, how I knew
consumed it.
was literally just saying Nacho, Nacho.
Like,
I
well,
was like Nacho Libre. Oh boy, that's
Yeah.
like the rest of us. So it was a surprise movie.
Yeah, I
So
didn't
only
tell them.
Michael
I
knew.
didn't want him to know.
The rest of us had no clue what we were watching.
The second I saw the word nacho on screen, I knew what was going on there.
Oh yeah,
knew
no,
it.
I knew what it was as soon as I saw that, but we were already watching the movie by the time we figured out what it was. So
It was at least playing at the moment.
yeah, it was
Like
playing.
like I said, you literally would have and you did figure it out in the first 5 seconds.
5
Like
seconds.
within.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know immediately.
And it's because in the very beginning of the movie they scream Nacho, but you know, I still
Mhm.
wanted you to have to wait for it. I wanted
Word.
the suspense to build.
of course.
Did you know there's a guy named L Snowflake?
Bro,
Yes.
okay, wait a minute. Should we talk about
Human-
those names because they were
Human
fucked?
tornado.
Yeah.
Yes.
Different time.
Okay, I mean, when are we gonna do it though?
Oh,
So we
that
got-
dude was actually fucking.
I mean, I mean,
Like in universe.
his name
no,
was
I mean
Human.
at the.
oh,
His real name was Human Tornado. L Snowflakes. He's a wrestler.
Oh, oh, that's dope.
Oh yeah,
I,
Josh.
I mean that this movie was made in a different time. That's all I was
okay,
saying.
okay. I thought you were saying like, oh, next week. I'm like, we ain't talking about this next week.
No, I don't want to.
Wow.
No, I don't want to.
thought
All
something
right, we need
different.
one conversation about the 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 kind of messed up names of the wrestler. Let's talk about that next week. No, it's all right.
It is kind of sad though, that in the end, somewhere in New York, there's a man dead in his pawn shop because he voted on Nacho, but he died with a smile on his face.
Stop, dude.
175,000 on Nacho, won it on points on
Oh
pins.
my god.
Points.
He may have died, but
He's gonna survive
best
to
gamble of
the
your
second
life.
round. They're gonna take a break, one break.
No.
15,000 on Ramsey's breaking the break.
roll a pin, 50,000 to roll a pin. He's gonna do it. He rolled him up. Yes.
He's done it. Loisimus boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But no,
Anyway.
the names were good. So we got El Snowflake, we got Silencio, Chancho.
Chancho wasn't a wrestler.
Josh was not a wrestler.
Chancho's just a Chancho.
He was
Like
the
You
kid.
know that kid's gonna grow up and be a wrestler, though.
Dude,
so-
you know he's gonna be
Oh,
a
yeah.
wrestler. There's
Disciple.
He
That's a
is a
sequel.
wrestler. It's when,
Disciple.
not.
Hell
That's the sequel.
I don't know. Wait, hold on. So I'm looking at.
So
most
there
of the
was one.
castings.
His name was El Chino,
Huh.
which
Yeah.
literally just means the Chinese. He was an Asian man.
Guys, wait, hold up, everyone.
Maybe. Well, you know what? Maybe he named himself that,
Nice.
and maybe.
No,
it-
he
they
could
ju-
have. I'm looking actually at to the Human Tornado. He played El Snowflake.
Mhm.
And apparently,
Snaggletooth
let me
monk.
see.
That's literally what
He
the
had
guy's name
called
is.
himself. So he had 3 ring names. He had the Human Tornado. He had El Snowflake that was in the movie, and then at another time he had been known as El Negro, which means the black.
Hey.
So
dude.
he kind of
Right.
he gave himself that name.
Yeah.
So that's very
Mm.
interesting.
Very
Um,
interesting.
Again, for
Guys-
those of you that don't know, that means black in Spanish.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Oh yeah.
So you know the one really annoying kid? I know
Which
why
kid?
his face was so annoying.
Yeah, it was Moises
Yeah, Moises
Arias. He was
Arias.
in a
Yeah.
whole bunch of Disney Channel shows.
Yeah,
Montana.
exactly. He was
Yeah,
in
He was.
Hannah
Hannah
Montana.
Montana is the
I
one that I
watched
know
that
him
as like a
from.
little kid,
Yeah,
and that crap. He was the character that really pissed me
he
off
was
in
the
Hannah
asshole
Montana. When I was
kid.
like 5.
Wow.
Yeah,
He was also
exactly.
in a few episodes.
God.
If I remember, wasn't he also in a few episodes of
King.
iCarly, and he was the asshole kid as well?
What was he? He was in
Oh,
Pitch Perfect 3.
He's in a new movie coming out with Pete Davidson called King of Staten Island.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
that's out right
Oh
now.
yeah,
Oh, that is
I
out. That's
know
out
that.
now, actually. Yeah.
Is
Also,
it out now? I'm
Nacho Libre
confused
has
a
a
bit.
video game.
I
It's
was
on the.
literally gonna bring that up.
Yeah, I was too. It's on the DS apparently.
And you can play as El Chino in that game.
Bro, you can?
You can
I
play
need to
as
get that.
everybody. You got 20. You got 21 characters. You got online multiplayer. Yo, this is the game. This is
So,
the wrestling.
um, the the wrestling names in the ring were so of course there was Nacho, Esqueleto, and Silencio that we all mentioned. Then there
Mhm.
was El Snowflake. There was Dynasty, he wore that white mask and had that creepy smile on.
mhm.
El Chino, who we already mentioned, and then Muñeco, which means doll. He was that fat dude in there.
Ah.
And if I remember, he
Oh, the
was
chick with the
dressed.
tunnels.
He kind of had interesting clothing on. I he might have been in reference to the dude's daughter, who was into Esqueleto, who used the secret tunnels.
That was the
Right.
daughter.
Yeah, she was the. If I remember, she was the daughter of the manager, of Ramses's manager.
Yikes.
Yeah. But no, I think that yeah, there's just the names. The only ones that are really like interesting were like, you know, like El Chino, which is an interesting name, and then
Mhm.
like El Snowflake and stuff.
Oh, Snowflake.
Yeah,
Yeah. But so do we want to move on to our next section?
which is
Choosing the. Oh wait, no,
we
we don't.
already
We
know
don't
the
need
next
choosing
movie.
it. Yeah, no, we
Movie
know the next
booking.
movie. Never mind. 8th grade.
Oh,
Yeah. So does anyone else have anything they want to say about this movie or no?
You want me and Jose to book Nacho Libre Part 2 for like the next hour? We just book matches and
oh
like
my.
Um, I think you should do that in your free time and come back to us with the final
The
roster.
bonus podcast.
Yeah,
bonus
give
podcast.
us that final roster. You know,
Yeah, but
I think
Gonna
that
end.
I think that'd be a great idea.
Episode
we need to bring
6.5 of the
actual
Moviebloop
that's
podcast.
true.
Exactly.
6.5. Hell yeah.
Ladder match, baby. Let's do it.
Right there, lining the bank.
All right. Well, yeah. Um, yeah. I don't think again. This is another short episode, kind of like Tarzan was.
This is the
This is
short
this is
episode.
definitely shorter. I think this is like 10 minutes shorter than that one. Actually, probably more. I don't know how
World
long.
Breaker.
Yeah, I don't know how long
World
the
Breaker.
break was, but I had a good time. I love this
Not.
movie.
Nacho Libre, baby.
After the party from last night, I needed something chill. I'm very tired.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I can go
I don't
too.
know.
I have work.
Next week we are going to be watching Eighth Grade, which was the
Going to
one.
middle school, baby.
Yeah, the one we were supposed to
Woo!
watch this week, but we just
Still have
made a
no
new.
clue
Well,
what
but
it's
we made a new
what
rule.
it's about.
The
So
worst years of our lives. Middle
yep.
school
Dude.
boys.
Indeed.
The worst
Okay.
ones.
Are
So
we gonna
yeah,
talk about our 8th grade experiences after that movie?
That's next week.
if you
That's
want
next week.
to,
Maybe.
Yeah,
We'll,
yeah,
we'll get
Maybe.
that. We'll
right
cross
there.
that bridge when we get there.
Oh yeah, it'll
If
just be
something
a
hits you.
therapy session.
hell
Dude,
yeah, dude.
Great.
If something hits you close to home, then you gotta bring it up.
Movie
Yeah,
Bloop
probably.
therapy. We're in. I'm in.
Yeah, dude, we're basically already therapists ourselves. You know,
I'm a
this is the best.
therapist.
Of course.
Dude,
It's certified.
this is it.
Well,
Certified.
We disclosure. None of us are certified therapists.
Please don't sue us.
Yeah.
I'm not giving advice to any of you.
Of
Thank
course
you.
not.
At least
and
not
on
right
that
now.
bombshell.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. No.
Have a good night,
Really good.
everybody.
Guys,
Thanks
thank you
thanks
for
for
Good
listening.
listening.
night,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you for watching, listening. Same
Yep.
shit,
Sure.
you know.
Where's Nacho Libre 2?
This has
Have-
been exactly. We riot in the streets for
Yeah,
Nacho
sign our
So
Libre 2
Yes.
petition.
supporters.
we're gonna make a
Change.org.
petition on
Uh,
change.org. We want a Nacho Libre 2.
I don't want Despacito 2.
But I want
want
it to be
Nacho
called
Libre.
I want it Nacho Libre 2, The Legend of Chancho.
Yes.
And it's all about
And it's all
Chancho.
about Chancho
He's
going up to become
he's
the next
training.
Luchador.
He's training
Oh.
under Nacho.
I
It's
thought you were
like
gonna say the
Curry.
last Nacho, bro.
The last Nacho.
It's like this is it's all he's got. It's the last match, the last Nacho,
Oh my god.
It's
and
like
then he gets it
Creed.
to
Or it's called like No Mas
like
Nachos
Creed.
Libre. There's no more
No
free.
mas nachos dos.
Oh.
There's no more free nachos, dude.
No.
This is epic right here.
Oh yeah.
Good
Anyway,
night.
good night,
I love
everybody.
that you just
Goodbye.
named an entire movie free nachos.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Yep, peace out.
Free nachos.